see some fireworks tonight?
We just saw some. That means we're going to see something in the game. I mean, and by the way, how cool is this tunnel? I had a chance to walk through that yesterday. It's my first time at this building and calling a game. I mean, all the fans have painted inside it. It's really got, you see the luminous lighting. It's pretty cool.
What can we expect in the game tonight, particularly the attacking power of this MLS starting lineup you're seeing in front of you right now?
I think what you'll see early in the game, and I experienced this in 2009 a little bit, is players getting the feel for each other. We talked to the coach, James O'Connor, a little bit about this and trying to find little combinations that work on the field. So it might take a couple minutes, and then you're going to start seeing a lot of fun, free-flowing attacking play.
Here they come.
Please welcome Commissioner of Major League Soccer, Don Garber, President of U.S. Soccer, Carlos Carrillo, Don Clemente Villaverde, Consejero de Atletico de Madrid, and Target Executive Vice President and Chief Information Officer, Michael McNamara. They are joined by Orlando City SC owner, Flavio Augusto de Silva, as they greet tonight's players and officials. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem. The American flag is being presented by the soldiers of the Orlando Recruiting Company in Orlando, Florida. And now, performing the national anthem, please welcome Grammy and Tony Award winner from the Broadway musical Hamilton, Renee Elise Goldsberry.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star
wonderful pageantry for these matches, and it's always fun to see the European clubs, sort of their impression of it. As you see the players go through the handshake line right now, and they're going to scramble and clear off the field from the pregame ceremony. And you see Brad Guzan there. It'll be his second straight All-Star game as a starter. And he is one of the players tonight that is going to be mic'd up for us in this broadcast. Did it last year as well. He, Walker Zimmerman, Paxton Pomacall, and Chris Wondolowski. And there is James O'Connor, Orlando City's head coach, told us yesterday it's been like drinking from a fire hose, because as he's been preparing the plan for the All-Stars, he's been coaching his team as well. They had an Open Cup semifinal Tuesday night. Let's hear from one of those All-Stars, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, live on the field with Katie.
Well, Zlatan, you are moments away from your first MLS All-Star game, and this is a game that was made for a guy like you. What are we going to see from you tonight?
I don't know. Let's hope something positive.
Definitely something positive, I know that. But when you look at the guys around you, you've got Wayne Rooney, you've got Nani, Carlos Vela. What should we expect out of this All-Star group?
I mean, this is all the best players in MLS, so hopefully we can do something good together. And even if we don't know each other well on the field, so I don't think that would be any problem, because good players play good together.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Atletico's manager Diego Simeone played for the club. He was hired as the manager 2 days before Christmas of 2011, and he has been the gift that keeps on giving ever since. 7 trophies for his club, and endless entertainment for the rest of us, whether fans of Atletico or neutrals, for his exuberance, his passion down on the touchline. Drew Fischer, 39 years of age, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, has been an MLS referee since 2012, an international referee. He was a VAR at the Women's World Cup in France, and he is tonight our referee at his first All-Star game. We mentioned Brad Guzan in the nets for MLS tonight. Brad, what do we expect? Dribbling out of the back? You can take a few free kicks for us? What do you got?
We'll see what it gives me. We want to make sure we get off to a good start. Obviously, we know what they're about, so we got to make sure we get off to a good start.
Brad, what's the energy like down on that field right now? It sounds live from up here.
No, definitely. I don't know if they're my biggest fans behind me, but it's all good fun. It's electric out here on the field. We're ready. We're excited.
Brad, we're going to talk to one of your center backs right now, Walker Zimmerman, who's down there on that field. And Walker, you're tonight back alongside Matt Hedges, 4 years with him in Dallas. What's it like to be next to him again?
It's just like home, guys.
What are you telling him tonight, Walker? You guys haven't played together for a little while. What are you telling him out there on the field?
We'll get it back. I said keep moving the ball around, just like we did back in the glory days, baby.
All right, good luck out there.
Have fun, Walker. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Alrighty.
Well, here we go. This is a fun collection of all-stars for MLS, and this is a team that does not do regular preseason friendlies, and their opponents tonight underway here in Orlando in the 2019 Major League Soccer All-Star Game. It is the All-Stars of MLS wearing purple here in Orlando. It's the color of Orlando City SC, at whose stadium we play. Atletico Madrid, as they have for over a century, wearing red and white stripes. And as we are on the verge of nearly a quarter century of Major League Soccer expansion, stadiums, player spending, you name it, it's been growing. And an impressive collection of all-stars, the trophies they've won, the goals they have scored, the accolades they have achieved. Against an Atletico team historically always one of the most successful in Spain, even as they have certainly outside of Spain been eclipsed in notoriety by Barcelona and Real Madrid, but it has been an acceleration the last decade. They've won Europa League, La Liga, they've won Copa del Rey. In the last month, an unprecedented spending spree, including being involved now in 2 of the 5 biggest transfer fees ever shelled out. And even the last few days, a 7-3 demolition of Real Madrid the other night in New York City. At one point, they led that match 6-0. So, Stu, what are we looking forward to tonight?
Well, I think you know what to expect from Atletico Madrid because of the way they are. They have some players that haven't seen a lot of minutes with this group, but Diego Simeone's teams are incredibly well organized and coached. It's 4-4-2. They all have an understanding of what is expected of them in their roles. And for the All-Stars, you're going to see a little bit of this early on. Some misplaced passes, feeling each other out. You heard Zlatan Ibrahimovic tell Katie before the game, but good players enjoy playing with good players, and they'll figure it out as this game goes along.
And Ibrahimovic, see if he gets some moments out there tonight. Meanwhile, Atletico, they have been playing their starting group, increasing minutes in their games that they've played here in the U.S., including a game against Chivas Guadalajara. This is their second group here tonight. Again, they're thinking about the beginning of the La Liga season in about 2.5 weeks. So certainly players that have something to show their manager tonight, trying to find their spot in the depth chart, including Hector Herrera there, the Mexico international. One of the many new additions, in fact, 4 newcomers on the field for Atletico from the start tonight. There's another one, Marcos Llorente, who played for Real Madrid in this game 2 years ago. Char knocking it away. Hedges will react. His hands there just in time as Vitola was charging him down. Ibrahimovic, what can you say? He's one of 3 men alive right now with 500 career goals scored. The other 2 fellow extraterrestrials, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. And he actually, in fact, a decade ago, playing for Barcelona against Atletico, scored 2 of those 500-plus goals against them, 1 in each game in their league season.
Fuck you, Susan!
Carlos Vela, the presumptive MVP, that ball out of the air, but it's picked up by Mario Hermoso. See Rooney coming forward on the pressure. Lawrence trying to knock that one away. We do expect to see everyone on the field for the MLS All-Stars tonight. James O'Connor putting together his plan. As he said, I want to make sure I'm being fair, not as much to the players. Some of whom have said to him, I'll happily play 90. O'Connor said, I want to be fair to these coaches that all have games on the weekend. He's especially mindful of the fact that his team plays Atlanta in the Open Cup next week. His team plays Dallas this weekend.
And coaches who are probably all watching this game and counting the clock on the minutes as well. He said, I've had a few phone calls, some of which I've answered, some of which I haven't.
And Zusi's taken off the ball by Vitola. Grant Zusi playing in his hometown of Orlando tonight for the MLS All-Stars. It is always the challenge to put together the plan, give everyone as much equal minutes as possible. Sanchez, the 18-year-old left back, one of a handful of teenagers in the Atletico Madrid roster from their reserve team, getting some minutes with the first team here in the summer. Now we're back to Sanchez and picked up by Rodrigo Riquelme, another teenager coming up for the B team. Vitola knocked away by Diego Chara. Alejandro Pozuelo for Ibrahimovic. He had Nani running in front of him. Lawrence able to keep it. Just under some pressure. Good little no look there to find Kamar Lawrence. Surprised to see Rooney drop it back that deep.
Well, he's actually playing a little bit withdrawn from where he plays with DC United. That's half the challenge. I mean, for James O'Connor, it's simplified enough. He's playing a 4-1-4-1, but he's got 5 or 6 at least good attacking players out there. So he's got Rooney and Pozuelo playing in front of Chara. They're going to try and get on the ball, but they're also trying to find space. So you're now seeing Rooney drop a little bit deeper, Pozuelo dropping a little bit deeper, and MLS All-Stars actually having a little bit of a tough time to build out of the back right now, figuring out positioning.
Also, among others, Chris Wondolowski is mic'd up down on the bench. And Wanda, what do you think so far? Give us your impressions of the first few minutes.
Yeah, they're very high pressing and they're a very good team. My favorite part so far is Brad getting booed and every time he touches the ball.
That happens everywhere he goes, though, right, Wando?
Exactly. I think it's putting a little pressure on him. I think he likes that, though.
What do you make of the speed of the game down there, Wando, from the bench on the side?
Yeah, it looks, very high attacking so far. Again, Atletico loves to press, and they're looking good right now. They're looking fit, and hopefully we need to string some passes together and get some crosses in.
Thank you much, Chris. We'll see you on the field a little bit. Appreciate you chatting with us here for a moment as Zusi was able to clear that one away, and now Riquelme Dropping off for Vitolo, entering his 3rd season now with his Atletico team. Trying to play the 1-2. It's back for Vitolo into a dangerous area. The shot is hooked wide. In the end, Jose Manuel Sanabria, who was at the Under-20 World Cup for Uruguay earlier this year, with the first good look of the night for either side. Here's Pozuelo now. We certainly are seeing the amount of rain that fell today, the amount of moisture on the field, and certainly the press from Atletico against... Let's not forget the dynamics here. This is an MLS All-Star team that had 2 sort of practice days, although Rooney and Ibrahimovic among a couple of players that actually didn't participate in those practices for various reasons.
It was fun to be at Atletico Madrid's practice yesterday, though, and watching Diego Simeone on the field, and just, it's exactly what I think I would have expected, and seeing his team play. And even when playing short-sided games, it was well drilled. Both teams were in his trademark 4-4-2. That's a great ball.
Vela looking to bring it down. He has Carlos Vela looking to tee up someone on that backside, and that'll be a corner now for the MLS All-Stars as we reach the 8-minute mark tonight.
Look at that crossfield pass. Wayne Rooney dropping it on a dime to Carlos Vela, just trying to get on the end of it, right foot up and over.
Took it short. Ibrahimovic back for Rooney. Zimmerman and Hedges were trying to come forward to attack that one, and that ball was already in play before they could. Donnie here of Orlando City in his first year as a designated player. Some nice cheers, and he was a part of the All-Star Skills Challenge last night. Rooney again dropping deep and wide, trying to set up as a playmaker. Play these long cross-field balls. Ibrahimovic lets it go for Kamar Lawrence. Lawrence getting across it. It was blocked then by Carlos Isaac. Let's check in again with Walker Zimmerman. Give us your thoughts so far, Walker.
Time! Yeah, it's been not a great start. We need to get the ball a little bit more. I think we're starting to find a little bit more success. But yeah, just being patient while they have the ball, get in good shape, and then when we have it, let's try and open up and keep it moving a little bit.
Walker, how do you balance that, having not played with a lot of these guys consistently and being in this formation to find options when you have the ball? You're asking for it here to get it from Rooney.
Yeah, it's different, you know. We obviously don't play together. They don't know our tendencies, but...
Oh, let's get a tackle in.
He's got to defend now. As Angel Correa comes forward, Hedges able to break it up.
Time!
Now Pozuelo for Rooney. A lot of goes to Kamar Lawrence, and you certainly have seen this MLS All-Star team grow into things a little bit in the last few minutes. Trying to find a comfort and a rhythm against a well-drilled unit, even though they are in their preseason. Vela, Ibrahimovic trying to return, it was knocked away.
I've got to say, having Walker in on the broadcast and yelling time, I almost had flashbacks to being a player. I was looking around in the booth thinking I was out on the field.
FS1 sponsored by Audi. For every goal scored tonight, Audi investing $5,000 into the Goals Drive Progress Fund to support MLS youth academies. This is the 16th All-Star game where it's been a team of MLS stars against foreign opposition. These games have averaged a little more than 3 goals per game, but it's been lower scoring the last couple of years. Here's Vitolo now for Angel Correa. Correa shot through traffic, and Guzan is able to make a save on his first shot faced tonight. And now Rooney.
Oh, he's got space up here. Kamar Lawrence.
Lawrence coming forward. Vela making the early run. The cross is meant for him. It will instead find Antonio Adan, the Madrid-born goalkeeper for Atletico.
That's a big opportunity there for Kamar Lawrence. He was clean through. He had 2 options, Vela and Ibrahimovic. Couldn't pick out either one.
those are two decent options to have coming forward, to be fair.
I know. I wonder when you look up in that moment, you think, who do I pass to here? Who's your better option in the box?
Here's Vitolo once again running in. Zimmerman couldn't quite get there. Char stepping in with a tackle. Still the option is on, though, for Atletico. Under Sanchez. Back for Correa. Hector Herrera. Correa again driving in. Vela just picks his pocket clean. Trying a little move there, and his Mexico teammate Herrera knocked it away, and that shot takes the deflection off Zimmerman, and Atletico will have a corner.
Zimmerman had to make that block. That looked like that was going to be on target.
Kelme taking the attempt there, the only player that did not play any of the games in their U.S. tour so far, the field player, I should say. It'll be Sanabria to take, the 19-year-old from Uruguay. Great look at the corner flag cam there as Hedges gets that sent away. Pozuelo trying to hold it up. He thought he was bumped there by Vitolo. Looking to turn the corner. Again, dropping deep. He'll play it across to Lawrence. Vela now on the left for the MLS All-Stars. Nani's come to the right. Vela trying to come inside and cut off it by Carlos Isaac. 21-year-old right back for Atletico tonight. Back inside. Sanabria taken off the ball by Rooney. Good shouts for the fans for that, and Lawrence just able to keep it in play. Rooney again looking for these long cross-field pass. Nani bringing it down. Just trying to find Char. It was good work by Correa there to read that jump in. It'll be Vitolo the other way. Char tracking him. Vitolo into the middle. Correa picks it up. Correa blocked by Zimmerman. Isaac joining up. He'll let fly. Guzan down again, and Zimmerman at least did well keeping that away from McKelme, but also not putting it back in towards his own net, and now helping his goalkeeper with the IFB. That is teamwork right there between Zimmerman and Brad Guzan, who just made his second save. You and I do that. That's just part of the gig.
That was great stuff. I mean, and the double clearance. Zimmerman blocks the first one, then it comes into Guzan, then Zimmerman clears it away again. It's a good strike, though. It's dipping. Good save from Guzan.
Sanabria once again. We'll take an out-swinging ball this time. Nani winning the second header. Vela throwing his body in there. It's going to fall on the far side, though, to Isaac, and swept again in behind by Zimmerman. Out for another corner. So we've creeped past the quarter-hour mark here in Orlando. It's still raining pretty hard. In fact, the rain has increased since the kickoff. You can certainly see it on the faces and the jerseys of these players. And we had the lightning delay earlier. Sort of a typical summer night here in Central Florida. And Sanabria to take an in-swinger from that far flag. And Herrera got a piece of it. There's Nani there able to hook it away out for a throw. Vitolo once more. Let that go. Isaac, aggressive first touch. Rooney knocked it away. Lawrence, the outlet balls are going to find Vela. Not quite. Good step by Felipe. Herrera's teammate at Porto, another new addition this year. Here's Herrera on the ball. Vitolo, tight quarters, Zimmerman bodying him up. Able to get a pass away, the return. Vitolo, Herrera, Riquelme teeing it up for himself, but it's into the wall. All right, Brad, give us your thoughts right now. A couple of saves to make. What are the conditions like? Is that hurting things?
No, the ball's playing quick. Get that on camera, yeah?
You are getting abused down there. What did you do to these people?
Listen, Atlanta's not far away, is it?
Hey, Walker, it seems like you guys are struggling to get some pressure on the ball, probably because you have 9 attacking players out there. How do you deal with that as the center back?
It's not easy. A lot of running so far, but hopefully we'll get the ball and start knocking it around soon.
What's Correa like? He looks tidy and quick on the ball.
Yeah, he is. Very quick.
No, listen, walk's doing fantastic.
And Goose, you bailed him out a couple of times back there.
What?
You've bailed your team out a couple of times back there.
A little bit.
That's the role of the goalkeeper. Walker's just trying to give me some action, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's all good.
I hear you.
Thank you, guys. We'll check in again
Walk why you sound like you're breathing heavy.
That was John Strong, actually, Brad.
All right, fair enough.
Hey!
It is a muggy night up here. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Appreciate
come on
the
the
two of you.
field. Come on the field.
Here's Zusi now. Nani trying to play the return, and Vitolo cut it off. And now here comes Manu Sanchez the other way for Riquelme. And that's the point of these games. It is, and that was what James O'Connor said. I want our guys to have a laugh, to have a joke, to socialize with guys that are normally their opponents week in, week out. But also make sure we have pride in representing our league in a match like this.
It was one of my favorite memories from being an All-Star in 2009 of getting to know guys that I played against and battled against and had a lot of respect for at the same time, seeing their quality of training, all the events that you have to go to as part of the week. But then when you get on the field, as a player, you enjoy playing with the best, and you get a feeling of that. You get to know these guys, and then when you go out and play them again in the tail end of the season, you share some laughs, and then you try and kick them a little bit harder on the field.
A handful of these guys, theoretically, now Ibrahimovic is suspended this weekend, but Atlanta are going to be hosting the LA Galaxy. Zusi on the ball. He'll be playing against Nicolas Ladero in Seattle this weekend. That'll be one of our games on FS1 Sunday night. We got a doubleheader. That Galaxy Atlanta game will be on the Fox Broadcast Network. Pozuelo in for Vela again. You can see it's close, but it's just not quite there. A couple of these combinations as Carlos used that came forward to intercept that ball. Lawrence coming in from behind just a moment too late as really get it out wide to Sanabria.
I think that's the most noticeable thing, John. Like you said, from MLS, here's Chara doing what Chara does.
Playing the early ball to Ibrahimovic, takes it with him. Diego Chara scored a couple goals in his career, including one from that distance. And couldn't quite play it into Ibrahimovic. Pozuelo picks it up. Rooney will go wide to Carlos Vela, wearing the captain's armband for a second straight All-Star game. His cross has helped along. Zusi trying to get there. Zusi with the strong challenge, but Correa strong enough to at least get it away to midfield. Here's Nani. Oohs and ahs as Nani creates the space. Some tricks and flicks. Couldn't get through cleanly. Hometown fans want a foul for their hometown star. They're not going to get it.
No hometown call. There wasn't a foul. 2-on-1 there, Nani, trying to just create a half yard and get a cross off. And kind of what I was saying before, you're right. It's not very fluid so far from the MLS All-Stars, which you 100% expect. And you might start to see it close, getting more and more numbers around the ball. Wayne Rooney's auditioning currently for a deep-lying number 6, dropping off, playing 60-yard balls. Ben Olsen, are you watching?
We call that Andrea Pirlo role.
I think you want him a little bit closer to goal traditionally, but in front of you, you have a man called Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who's a pretty good striker.
Really good step there by Lawrence to knock the ball away. Rooney, Pozuelo got the first touch around the defender, Emerso. And Drew Fischer. And again, this is a weird spot for a referee to be in. Do you want to call the game tight? Do you just want to let it flow? But
you don't want to call it tight. I can tell you that right now. But then again, the tackle a couple minutes ago, I'm looking at Diego Simeone down on the bench, and he's jumping up and down. So he wants to protect his players, and that's the line you have to walk as a referee.
Chara just couldn't quite get to that loose ball in time. Vitolo has it now. Chara stepping in there to win the tackle away, something he has done more than any other player in MLS since he joined the league in 2011. Vela pass one, takes the bump on the second. That will be a foul and a free kick.
Vela was trying to accelerate away. He's not going to get there. Got a good chunk of him. Something we see week in, week out in Major League Soccer.
One of 4 LAFC players, and you see what he's put up. He is close to breaking Joseph Martinez's record just from last year. Most goals in a season. He's actually that much closer, only 3 away from breaking Sebastian Jovinko's record for combined goals and assists in a season. MLS on FS1 is sponsored by AT&T. One of the interesting numbers for Vela this year is the fact that the 22 goals he has scored, 5 above his expected goals value, which is the types of chances he's taking, the presumptive quality of those chances. He has overachieved with the skill of his finishing. Good strength there by Ibrahimovic to hold that ball up and find Rooney. Just continue to come down hard. That one's going to slip through to Lawrence. Lawrence early cross cut out. Ibrahimovic will pick it up. Vela knocked away. They're trying to step in on Llorente, who gets it clear. Only as far as Rooney, though. Alejandro Pozuelo. She leads the league in primary assists expected with the types of chances he's been creating for teammates in Toronto. Ibrahimovic able to bring that one down, trying to cut it back in. Oh, he found Carlos Vela. Vela on the cutback, 1v3. Still Vela. Trying to play it off Llorente there to win a corner.
And one of the challenges MLS All-Stars are having right now is that all the players want to get touches on the ball, and they're dropping off a little bit deeper, and it ends up just being Ibrahimovic or Nani or Vela in the box by themselves. After all the talk over the head of El Tráfico, we're going to see Ibrahimovic to Vela tonight, aren't we? I mean,
yes.
One of them is going to set the other one up for a goal.
Zimmerman flying through there. Nani coming in from behind to pick it up. Kind of taking an extra moment to get involved in the play after that little burst of energy. So Nani trying to find Pozuelo on the overlap. As Manu Sanchez came flying through, it's going to be out for a throw.
This is the pass from Ibrahimovic back the other way, and Vela 1 against 3 was almost found a way through that last bounce. Then he was trying to win a corner to kick it off one of the Atleti defenders.
Just been wincing a little bit since that and sort of reaching down towards the back of his leg, and like I said, wasn't really sprinting forward there on that last foray for the MLS All-Stars. Here's Zusi, great little cut back on Vitolo. Now Zusi's cross in the middle, in between Vela and Ibrahimovic. Zusi tonight in his 7th All-Star game, his 5th as a starter. Vela, Lawrence. Lawrence back in for Carlos Vela. Pozuelo, Vela, his cross into the middle, Ibrahimovic. Trying to find a teammate, Zusi controls, Nani for Pozuelo. Rudy's going to try his luck from distance, and it's just up over the bar. They're arguing, it took a touch off of Adon, the goalkeeper. It's not being given by Drew Fischer. Rudy pointing at the scoreboard.
Well, he produced a few of these last night in the MLS All-Star Skill Challenge, smashing in volleys and a couple long-range strikes. This one wasn't too far away, and he had a long look at that one. This is Adnan's look. It's from deep, and he was scrambling at the top pan. Looked like he might have had it covered. You get a great look at that. I mean, just starts low, great technique, gets over the top of it. Oh, and it touched. Yep, he's absolutely right.
Pozuelo's won the ball in the middle. Alejandro Pozuelo of Toronto, Nani of Orlando. Pozuelo going down in the box as Nani snuck through, narrow angle, still Nani, great skill. Can he find a teammate? It's not going to find Vela. And it's going to be out for a throw. It is continuing to rain harder and harder. You can see it there on Nani. As Rooney into the middle, Ibrahimovic trying to rise up and find it. That'll come out all the way through. We do expect the first wave, or at least the first substitution, not necessarily a wave, but at least the first sub to come in a few minutes. And one of the challenges for James O'Connor, the fact he's got 3 goalkeepers out there, so trying to get each guy a little bit of time tonight. We're also looking at Joseph Martinez down there. Looks like he might be about to come on, the reigning MVP of Major League Soccer, as it comes wide to Pablo Sanchez of Atletico. Long attacking spell for the MLS All-Stars, really. It's been a while since they've had this type of defending to do. Just not able to find a goal. Hector Herrera. Now direct traffic. Drew Fischer getting out of the way. Now a shot through traffic is wide in the end by Carlos Isaac, the 21-year-old right back. See the Vitolo out there. One of the players we might not see for Atletico Madrid tonight is Alvaro Morata. He came off with a leg injury early in their match against Real Madrid Friday night up in New York. We're going to see the rest of them, though. It does look like Andre Blake is ready to come on in just a moment to replace Brad Guzan. Joseph Martinez as well. Looks like he is in the wings, ready to enter as the first pair of substitutions for James O'Connor and the MLS All-Stars this evening. Llorente trying to find Correa. Hedges able to do the job there. Lawrence just bouncing that out. Looks like off Carlos Vela, but it will be, in fact, a throw for the MLS All-Stars. There you see Martinez and Blake getting set to come on. Joseph Martinez, who scored a goal and was the MVP of the All-Star game last year in Atlanta against Juventus. Run away from him there and taken back by Hector Herrera. And Andre Blake of the Philadelphia Union, the first place in the East Philadelphia Union, will be coming on as well. We'll see who comes out for Martinez. Vitolo. Foul there by Diego Char. And it will be Zlatan Ibrahimovic who exits. Quite get to see a superstar moment from Zlatan Ibrahimovic tonight. And Brad Guzan coming off as well.
Brad, I believe your wife is watching at home. You got a special announcement for us, don't you?
All the best, bro.
I'm not sure you can hear us.
Big shout out to my wife.
All right?
Yeah, good.
Welcome, new addition to the family.
Yeah, big shout out to my wife having a baby. Our newest addition.
So are you getting on a plane right now to go back and help out, or what?
No. We'll be here for the full 90, so we're good.
Thank you, Brad. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
As he's animated a pair of saves in his 30-minute spell. So Joseph Martinez is on. Andre Blake is on now for the MLS All-Stars. And yes, congratulations to the Guzan family for their latest addition. And we'll be seeing Martinez and Brad Guzan. You saw it a little bit earlier on the Fox Network on Saturday. That'll be a doubleheader with the German Super Cup. As Guzan's Atlanta United take on Zlatan Ibrahimovic's LA Galaxy, although he is one of 3 players who will be suspended for them. That'll be a tough challenge for Guillermo Barros Schelotto and the LA Galaxy. Atletico are preparing a substitution as well. It'll be Riquelme on the left wing, pressuring Blake here, be coming out for Tony Moya, a 21-year-old player they're trying to bring up from the reserve team out of the youth academy. Herrera not going to quite get to that ball. Lawrence going down in a heap in front of him and just couldn't quite get there. Zimmerman does, and he'll just play safe and sweep it out. Sanabria into the middle for Vitolo. He's got the run on the left side from Manu Sanchez. Cross into the middle, stabbed away by Hedges. Zusi was trying to find Nani, couldn't quite do so. Vitolo, great little hip feint to come inside. Vitolo's shot blocked by Chara. And out for a corner, 4th of this half for Atletico Madrid. Diego Chara in his first All-Star game in his 9th year in the league. A 9-year spell which has not only made him the all-time appearance leader for the Portland Timbers, but also the MLS leader in tackles attempted, tackles won, and also fouls and yellow cards shown over that 9-year span in MLS.
You lost an important streak the other day.
That's right. 4 years and 25 DNPs. The Timbers were winless until the victory over the Galaxy over the weekend. He insisted, we talked to him yesterday, that he was actually happy. You made that joke.
Yeah,
you would have been
joking.
sad.
I said, well, you've had a streak of 4 years showing how important you are to your team. And he said, no, I'm happy for my team. So your agent probably isn't.
MLS on FS1, sponsored by Heineken. Open your world. Here's Carlos Vela now. He's got Zusi up on his right. Different type of target in Joseph Martinez up front. And still Rooney dropping in, trying to be that deep-lying playmaker as it comes to Nani. Nani for Martinez. And we see the doubleheader we'll have here on FS1 on Sunday, featuring a handful of the players out there tonight, including Andre Blake, who just came on. Pozuelo, Vela, Pozuelo. Ibrahimovic trying to get it. He threw his body in there, as did Pozuelo. Now it's Sanabria. Roll it in for Vitolo again. Diego Chara's there.
Chara's not taking a play off, is he? You wouldn't expect him to.
Martinez couldn't quite find Pozuelo with that touch, and now Correa on the turn. We're looking to play now for Sanchez, the left back. He'll fire to the middle. Hedges is there. Just in front of Correa. And here comes the first change of the night for Atletico. It will be Tony Moya on for Rodrigo Riquelme. Moya, who actually joined Atletico Madrid as a 15-year-old from Real Mallorca.
La Liga's newest team.
That'll be a tough stretch for Atletico coming up in September. They've got to make the trip to Mallorca just days before the first Madrid derby of the season.
A fortress at the Son Moix in Palma, Mallorca.
And they did change it. It was Sanabria who came off at the last moment there. They actually changed the number. Here's Llorente in for Herrera. Riquelme, who's staying on the field, got involved, and that one's going to be in the stands from Marcos Llorente. $40 million addition from Real Madrid, as you mentioned, was part of the All-Star game 2 years ago, the 1-1 draw in Chicago between, at the time, the reigning European champions and the MLS All-Stars. Zusi couldn't quite get out of that traffic jam. Cleanly, Chara's there to break it up. And
oh, yeah, I mean, Zusi had the ball there. He's looking up. He had no options. That's what he's saying right now. You can see him in the middle of your screen. He's just saying, somebody come closer. Somebody give me a chance. Interested what James O'Connor thinks about trying to figure out how to get this team operating a little bit better, a little bit more fluid, and having some of these guys changing positions. It's really hard to coach a team like this on such short notice.
This is Tony Moya just on the field and take it. Chara got a piece of that one, in fact, in the traffic, picked up on the far side. And Zimmerman was there defensively. Certainly Zimmerman and Hedges have had a lot to do. 2 saves.
Still got his eye in.
The rain just continuing to pelt down tonight here in Orlando. Tony Moya will take it from the far flag this time. His out-swinging ball. Blake staying at home. And that header will loop harmlessly over in the end. Well, you mentioned James O'Connor. Let's hear what he thinks. He's downstairs with Katie.
Well, James, a little ways into this first half, what are you looking for right now down here on the sideline?
I think trying to just get the guys to settle down a little bit. I think you can see they're still trying to get used to each other. Obviously, it's very difficult. I mean, you have so many players that are unknown to each other, but I think when we have, like, Wayne's got on the ball and hit some lovely diags and controlled it a little bit for us, I think if we can get him pulling the strings like he's done there a couple of times, and then, you know, Joseph, if he can start running behind and just a little bit more forward movement to give lads a little bit more options on the ball, I think that will certainly help. And then obviously defensively, transition moments like just this, we need to be very careful and manage the transition moments. And set pieces, they're a threat from set pieces, so we just need to manage transition and set pieces, and just get the guys just to settle down a little bit. I think that's the biggest thing.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
It's a lovely poncho Katie had on there in the rain down there. An interesting note, by the way, found out Finn Balor, WWE superstar, who we saw in the pregame as Blake will control that. We were chatting with him up here in the booth. He actually grew up with the O'Connor family. His brother played with James O'Connor growing up in Ireland, and Finn Balor saying that he actually played with a member of the O'Connor family as well as young kids. So sort of a fun connection between those two that are involved in the activities tonight. Vela knocked away by Hector Herrera. Again, Mexico teammates played together at the World Cup. Had not seen each other since the World Cup. Herrera told us yesterday, but they had a lot of fun at that skills challenge as Vitolo gets it away for Correa. Trying to return it. Chara there in time once again to break the play up, and out for another Atletico Madrid corner. Well, you sort of joke when we saw the lineup, that man's going to have an awful lot to do tonight, Diego Chara, sort of by himself in that sort of role.
Yeah, when you have Rooney, Pozuelo, Nani, Vela, it was Ibrahimovic, now it's Joseph Martinez. He's just running around. He's broken up a lot of plays tonight, Diego Chara.
It's the 7th corner Atletico have taken in this first half. Pozuelo, or rather Joseph Martinez, won the ball to Pozuelo. Vela picks it up. Joseph Martinez on the far side. Nani making the run as well. Vela slowed up there. And then behind Pozuelo, that was good work by Riquelme to track him. Lovely move there to send Zusi flying by Hector Herrera.
It was good recovery speed from Atletico Madrid because Carlos Vela, he's so good at that. You see him do it in Major League Soccer. He almost waits for a defender, he bumps him a little bit, and then accelerates. He couldn't open up to get the pass to Joseph Martinez, who was wide open on the other side of the field.
Back out in the middle, it comes for Llorente. Herrera now. Able to tracking him down quickly. Riquelme. Llorente was calling for it. On it goes to Mauro Sanchez. He was offside.
A little bit of skill here from Hector Herrera to chop away from Graham Zusi. These two faced off before.
I was going to say how quickly Herrera forgets the only reason he got to play in the 2014 World Cup was because of Graham Zusi's goal.
Saint Zusi
in Panama, that he would return the favor that way tonight. 5 minutes of this first half, but we do expect to see a flood of substitutions from some of the MLS All-Stars of the break as Vela slides through to knock that pass away. And Zimmerman able to get it clear. Coming up on our Audi halftime report, we'll look back at some of the highlights from the first half. MLS Commissioner Don Garber as well. We'll be joining our guys down at the set. All that on our Audi halftime report. A lot of activity today. MLS Board of Governors meeting. All the owners have been here. And certainly about expansion. You also had a press conference given the MLS Players Association. Had a CBA negotiations as Hedges steps that away. So a very busy off-the-field couple of days here in Orlando as Rooney from a long way out was able to nod that back into the hands of Andre Blake. All right, Walker, sounds like you got a few more minutes here to close out the half. Walker, what are your thoughts so far this thing?
We just got dropped too deep. It's a good ball there from Wayne.
Able to find Johnny now.
Diego, if you can.
Donnie able to get across away. There's just no one there on the far side.
Walker, do you think you could ask Chara to make a couple more tackles out there?
I hope so. Right, Diego, right!
Who are you looking at right now, trying to pull them back and give them help? Oh, good tackle. Oh, that's clean, ref. What do you think of that call there?
Good composure, not screaming at the ref with the live mic.
I think that's poor.
Thank you very much, Walker. We've appreciated your cooperation with us tonight. Fun chat with you. Walker Zimmerman joining us down there. Big summer for him. He was certainly a part of the Gold Cup for the U.S. men. LAFC team has a chance to win a Supporters' Shield and break a couple records in doing so. Correa now, Hedges defending him. We'll be seeing LAFC not this coming weekend, but the next weekend against the New York Red Bulls at Bank of California Stadium here on FS1. And then in about a little less than a month, second edition this year between LAFC and the LA Galaxy. That is going to be a real scene and a real fun day for us here at FS1. It's a great combination to create Llorente's opportunity to score the opening goal of the 2019 All-Star game. Marcos Llorente joining from Real Madrid to Atletico Madrid, meeting Andre Blake on the deck.
Oh, look at this ball around the corner. I mean, there's no pressure on the ball here, so Zimmerman has to come out. Rooney doesn't track the run of Llorente, and then it's a good finish. You can just see he's clean in. Hedges is trying to clean it up at that point. It's a little bit what we were talking to Walker Zimmerman about a couple minutes ago, John. He said they're dropping too deep, and they were dropping too deep, but they didn't get any pressure on the ball. He has to come out. A runner from midfield. It goes under the hands of Andre Blake. And there's the opening goal. Atletico Madrid 1-0.
And that was no easy thing for him to make the move across town. You see, he grew up in Real Madrid's academy. In fact, he was a legacy for them. His father, his great uncle, and his maternal grandfather all played for Real Madrid. He was brought in the reserves by Zinedine Zidane. The only thing he didn't have was much playing time. About 40 appearances in the last 3 years that he then makes a $40 million move to Atletico, and getting a goal here tonight. They'll have one more game of their preseason here in North America down in Mexico before playing against their old pal Cristiano Ronaldo and Juventus, a match in Sweden, and then beginning the season. So final minute plus whatever stoppage time is given before the break. And again, MLS Commissioner Don Garber will join our guys down on the set at halftime as we approach the 25-year anniversary of Major League Soccer, the 25th season next year. A lot of exciting events that'll be all a part of that as Herrera gets it away from the pressure of Pozuelo. Llorente into the space. Long run for Matt Hedges and Angel Correa. And Hedges is there, former MLS Defender of the Year, doing good work there. And Lawrence able to get it clear. Now to Manu Sanchez, only getting his head on it, and there'll be 1 minute stoppage time, so still time for the 8th quarter of the half for Atletico. Blake was a part of his second straight Gold Cup as the starter for Jamaica. Trying to get things set here and keep it to 1-0 at the break. Swinging ball that's comfortably well over the top by Carlos Isaac. Rudy, one last chance to play it long. His former Manchester United teammate Nani, with whom he played in a couple of All-Star games. In fact, great control to bring that down. See if Drew Fischer allows this attack to build for the MLS All-Stars. Well, not at that point as it sails out off the foot of Rooney. Drew Fischer looks at his watch and ends the first half of the 2019 MLS All-Star game. And more raindrops and attacking chances. That's more a statement about the rain than it is the players on display. And Marcos Llorente with the game's only goal so far. see just how many subs will be coming in through into the second half.
Lorente to make it 1-0. We've seen some subs, and certainly we expect many more to come. And we're going to take a look at the MLS All-Stars now currently on the field as Blake remains in goal right now. And yes, mass movement right now. Schweinsteiger, the former German great World Cup winner, in. Joseph Martinez up top. Jonathan Dos Santos of the LA Galaxy, now part of the midfield. Maxi Morales, really been fun to watch the season. Ditto for Ladero. So for more on the changes and for the second half call, let's go upstairs. John Strong and Stu Holden.
And again, Rob, this was all James O'Connor's plan to try to make sure everyone gets an equal amount of time, that you have the wholesale change now. You saw the lineup come through. Again, there's some tremendous quality out there. It's interesting to see Mark-Anthony Kaye as a left back. Now, we saw him at left back for the Gold Cup, and some of that was James O'Connor telling us, I only actually have one left back on this roster I was handed, which was Kamar Lawrence, so he'll be in that sort of a role. What do you want to see here in the second half?
I want to see, and hope to see, I think the fans want to see some more goals, some more chances. And then also from an MLS perspective, the hard part is towards the end of the half, maybe you saw the team finding understanding of positioning. Now that starts all over again with all the new changes. This team will be coming in fresh. This Atleti team has played a half already, so hoping to see some energy from this MLS All-Star group.
Second half underway, and the group that ended the half for Atletico, it looks like, is the group that begins the second half. MLS All-Stars were outshot 12-1. Only that Wayne Rooney effort that flashed over maybe a little bit of a touch. It was definitely going high off of Antonio Adon, the goalkeeper. 2 saves made by Brad Guzan before he exited about 30 minutes in. The goal from Marcos Llorente off of Riquelme's little flick. So we'll see what the MLS All-Stars can do in this second half. As it comes in to Riquelme, who set up that goal, and Bastian Schweinsteiger, another player we're used to so much seeing as a center midfielder, including a late cameo in the 2014 All-Star game just after he had won the World Cup with Germany. He played for Bayern Munich, but back in that center back role, we've seen him play plenty for the Chicago Fire last couple of years. And they're having a handful of come-from-behind victories, actually, for MLS in this All-Star format, as Ladero plays Joseph Martinez, and then Maxi Morales had that knocked away.
Fuck Miami! Fuck David Beckham! Fuck Posh!
There's Morales again. And Ladero, who cut his hair quite a bit, so you're sort of readjusting. Last time, actually most of the times we've seen him this year, he's got that big blonde shock of hair that he's buzzed it off now. Kaye trying to play that ball for Diego Rossi of LAFC, his teammate at club level. And now Rossi will hold it up. P.T. Martinez swinging it in too far for his club teammate, Joseph Martinez. Picked up on the far side by Maxi Morales. Ladero now, his first All-Star game. Across, Rossi on the volley. It's the outside netting. That would have been something special.
That was a good pick out, finding Rossi, who made that initial run down this left side. The LAFC man did well to get on the end of it. The cross came across from Pity Martinez, and then he recycles it back around from Ladero to Rossi just past that near post. Better start to this half for the MLS All-Stars. There's the ball from Nico Ladero. And Rossi just cutting underneath it. That was a skill we saw a lot at the All-Star Skills Challenge last night. Cross and volley.
And Schweinsteiger able to play out of pressure there for Maxi Morales. Time for the league lead in assists. And in fewer games played than Carlos Vela, with whom he shares that, and playing in his first All-Star game from New York City FC. P.T. Martinez, reigning South American Player of the Year, running now at the back. It's going to be knocked away by Carlos Isaac. Quickly in now for Ladero. Ladero fired across. It was too far for Joseph Martinez. He's going to try to chase this ball down. And Martinez, by the way, he actually has a chance this weekend, our game on Fox against the LA Galaxy, to score his 9th consecutive game played. That stretches back since before his absences for Copa America. That would tie the all-time league record that he set, or tied, I should say, last year. Was set the year before, 9 games by Diego Valeri of Portland. And the chance as well, he's just one off of Bradley Wright Phillips' record for the most goals in a 3-year span by a player in MLS. P.T. Martinez, great crossfield pass for Maxi Morales, who chests it down for Roman Metanir of Minnesota United. League leader in assists from defenders. Metanir clamping it in. Martinez let it go. P.T. Martinez couldn't get full contact.
Pizzi Martinez called off his Atlanta United teammate Joseph Martinez to try and hit that volley. It's been an active second half, though. We talked about it a little bit. I mean, only a couple minutes in, but you can see the energy from Maxi Morales, from Rossi, from Martinez, and as well from Nico Ladero. So a lot of talented, good ball players that are looking to connect and combine right now.
Here's Ladero, now for Metzanier. And it is interesting that you have on this roster 5 Atlanta players, 4 LAFC players, so you've actually got a fair bit of teammates on the field together. That has to help in this type of situation when there's so much unfamiliarity. To have that familiarity. Here's Diego Rossi now for his LAFC teammate Mark Anthony Kay. Looking for someone to get this ball into. Able to return Leandro Gonzalez-Perez. He's been one of the best MLS defenders last couple of years, intercepting it.
I wonder also, John, how long before we see Atletico Madrid starters? Because we saw them right before the start of the second half.
They're all warming up.
Out there, they're warming up. Down there to our right, they're all moving. Look like they're going to get ready. You might see a line change at some point.
They had played 45 minutes against Chivas Guadalajara. They went about an hour and change, that starting group, against Real Madrid. So Diego Simeone just sort of managing their load ahead of the beginning of the season.
Just as MLS are starting to dominate this game, then it's like, okay, look out.
Here come the big boys. Let's see if they can actually punch one through here at some point. It's Manu Sanchez, the left back, coming ahead for Riquelme. No red there. Metzanier, and he's tackled off the ball, out for a throw. Well, let's go down to our newest correspondent here on MLS and FS1, Brad Guzan, who is live on the bench with a special guest. Brad?
Hey guys, what's up? I'm down here on the bench with the all-time GOAT of goalkeepers of Major League Soccer, the one and only Nick Rimando. Nick, tell us what you're thinking here, getting ready to go into your final appearance as an all-star. I can't even count how many times you've been one, but fantastic. You're thinking.
Yeah, excited, trying to enjoy. Obviously, a good match so far, and unusual to go in with 30 minutes left, but you got to do what you got to do, and then hopefully come out with the win.
I'm calling it right now. We're going to score one. We're going to go to penalties, and they're going to be the hero. What do you think?
Well, if we score one, we win in regular time, so that means we're going to score one as well.
Hey, Nick, I know you can't hear me, but it's 1-0.
Nick, he doesn't know the score.
I went in right before. I was warming up, so that would be the dream ending, right, to this game. But hopefully we can win during regulation.
Absolutely. Nicky, all the best. It's been an absolute pleasure, honor, absolute GOAT. Congrats, dude.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brad. Great stuff.
Well, Nick Rimando's showing his age a little bit there. He's forgetting things that had happened on the field.
You know, and it's funny, one of the things I was going to say is that it is a testament to the length of Nick Rimando's professional career. In the time he has been playing in MLS, being called the GOAT has gone from being a derisive term for someone who has caused his team's failure to the highest of compliments as an acronym for the greatest of all time.
Well, I was joking around with the two of them at practice yesterday because, you know, teammates on the national team for so long. It had been Tim Howard, it was Guzan, and it was Nick Rimando. And Nick Rimando is, like Brad Guzan said, he's a GOAT. He's one of the all-time, if not the best goalkeeper.
If you're
going to
call him the GOAT, that's not one of. That is the greatest of all time.
Well, I was saying in Major League Soccer. I mean, the GOAT has different definitions.
Well, that's
You're
true.
going to really call me out here.
Is he the best goalkeeper in MLS history?
Yes. I mean,
there you go.
He absolutely is. And, here we go.
Leandro Gonzalez-Perez was going to ground in there. Kay trying to get his body in the way as well. Comes back for Vitolo. Just took a hard tackle by Jonathan Dos Santos a moment ago. Riquelme tried to hold it up on Gonzalez-Perez, and it's Dos Santos who gets rid of it. And then Joseph Martinez draws the foul. We'll be expecting to see Rimando for the last half hour tonight, and we'll be expecting at the midway point in the second half to see the final 3 field players, Paxton Pomykal, Chris Wondolowski, and Ezequiel Barco, get on the field for the MLS All-Stars this evening. And the starting group for Atletico Madrid are all coming over back to the bench now, so I think your line change is imminent. We'll see how that changes this game as well. As Maxi Morales has it for Metaneer, has been one of the revelations in MLS this year and part of the Madagascar team that made the quarterfinal of the African Cup of Nations just recently. In for Ladero. Out for P.T. Martinez. And now K for Rossi. Trying to come inside, and boy, he was cut off well by Carlos Isaac. K picking it up. Able to keep on a couple. Mark Anthony K. Nico Ladero. What a save. Adon able to close it down to the last moment. The first save he's made tonight.
Oh, great work from Mark Anthony K, who we've seen doing that all season long for LAFC in the middle of the field. If Ladero's right-footed and he takes this with his right foot, bends it to the back post, that's 1-1. He lets it come across his body. That gave a better angle there for Adon, who made the save. Much better in this second half. As we said, it almost feels like a cheat code, though, for Atletico Madrid, and a level up. Feeling the pressure, Simeone says, okay, give me Diego Costa, give me João Felix.
Just a pack of players in those red and white striped shirts, all hanging out in the fourth official's position right now. Ready to come in. Morales once more trying to lift it in for Ladero. It's going to be past him.
Here's one more look at that. Great ball back the other way, just to shape up like he was going to shoot. And you see the hesitation from Ladero there. And Adon he does a really good job there to stay big, doesn't wait, doesn't guess, and then makes the save.
Here it comes. Now it's all 11 who are down there that are going to be coming on here for Atletico Madrid. So this is a full-scale swap out. We're at the 55-minute mark, including Diego Costa, another man we talked about with Diego Simeone in the pregame, who doesn't do half speed, doesn't do second gear. Joao Felix, one of the most expensive teenagers ever bought, in fact, coming over from his native Portugal this year. Only Kylian Mbappe, a higher transfer fee. Jan Oblak, every year he's been Atletico starter. He's been the Spanish goalkeeper of the year. This is a crew that is coming out. Give us your thoughts. Joao Felix, who, again, he's just coming off his first season as a professional. This kid has come out of nowhere to put a $140 million price tag on him and be one of the most exciting stars in the world.
Yeah, he has risen to fame, and just how quickly, you mentioned how quickly it happened with Benfica, had a great season, and then the huge transfer fee. I mean, the market currently, the need for Atletico to go out and get the next player. You saw we did in the pregame showing that Antoine Griezmann, the big transfer to Barcelona.
Financed it, I think it's fair to say.
And you get Felix, and you know, I saw him up close and personal at the All-Star Skills Challenge last night, and a couple things stood out to me. He's got some good size. He's still going to grow into his body and fill out a little bit from a strength perspective, but his just raw talent and ability and his confidence up hand in first play, and seeing that in training as well. He's got a bright future ahead of him, and we'll see if he can handle that pressure that comes with that and the big money transfer fee going to Atletico Madrid.
It's a testament. They spent about $250 million on transfer fees this summer, but they actually made money in the exchange because of the size of their sales, including Griezmann. Thomas Lemar trying to play it off there, cut back. Here's Joao Felix, a chance. Blake down to make the save. Gonzalez Perez and Kay combining to get at least partially clear. It'll end up as a goal kick.
Well, a little as we thought here. The line change. Atletico Madrid bringing their starters straight down the other end. It comes back to Felix. It's a good save in the end from Andre Blake, because he takes a good first touch and hits that one low and hard down to his left.
See now how this changes it to have that somewhat more well-drilled starting group out there for Atletico. A team that, as we said, has been winning a lot of trophies lately, runner-up in La Liga each of the last 2 seasons. Last year winning their 3rd Europa League just under Diego Simeone. Played a couple of Champions League finals as well. The club very much trying to build their brand in the United States. Well, certainly they are eclipsed by Real Madrid and Barcelona, but they have been punching with the big boys over this last decade or so. And there you see him. Well, here comes a fun substitution now. Joseph Martinez will exit the game. And speaking of the greatest of all time, the greatest goal scorer of all time, Chris Wondolowski broke that long-standing MLS record earlier this year. And in fact, a pair of MLS legends going to be coming on now is Nick Rimando, who has announced this will be his final season as a professional player. Will be entering the game for Andre Blake, who just made that save. A nice little ovation there for Rimando, who began his career in a different century for a team that no longer exists, who has played in more games than anyone else in MLS history, over 500 of them, that he owns so many records that he probably will always own. And you see those numbers there. Wonderful to have him here in his 9th All-Star game in his final season as a pro. Give us a chance to mention as well 2 other absolute all-timers of American soccer, DeMarcus Beasley and Tim Howard, playing their final seasons as professional players. I mean, we really are seeing some of the absolute greats to have ever played this game in this country hanging it up at the end of this year. And now here's Kieran Trippier. Made the move from Tottenham Hotspur this summer. He will send this cross in. Romano almost got lost in traffic and attempted the bite there. Didn't quite work out for Diego Costa.
He went for the bicycle, the spectacular, and he actually takes it off of Thomas Lemar's head because he's just running in, thinks he's going to tap this one home with his head, and then he sees the big boot of Diego Costa up there. It's the All-Star game. That's what you want to see.
Got about a half hour left to go here in Orlando, and the rain has just been pelting down all night. Those All-Stars have been badly outshot. A couple of fine saves from 2 goalkeepers so far. 1 save officially forced. Nico Ladero a few minutes ago of Antonio Adon, who's now come off the field for Jan Oblak. Morales from Ladero. Got the run from Metanir to create some space. Deflected cross. Joao Felix hitting as clear as Pity Martinez, trying to bring that down over his shoulder, and good screen there for Jonathan Dos Santos to pick it up. Ladero able to find the run of Kay. Kay's cross lifted in, just too tall for Wondolowski. Metanir! That was moving, but wide in the end. Let's go back downstairs. Katie is with the hometown boy, Graham Zusi.
I am, and Graham, what is it like? The guys just mentioned Orlando is your hometown, and here this spectacle is, and then also what was it like being on the field?
Yeah, look, first of all, it's fantastic being back at home in front of friends and family. This atmosphere was actually fantastic, especially with the delay we had. Fans stuck around. It's been really fun. These games, look, the difficult part of it is having one practice to prepare, but you know, the guys are all professionals, all world-class players, so that part of it, it's difficult, but you learn each other's tendencies pretty quick. So a lot of fun, fantastic atmosphere, a little fun in the rain.
Yes, we're having a lot of fun in the rain, especially because you're letting me sit here on the bench with you. Thank you. But listen, Zlatan said before this one kicked off, good players, when they get together, they do good things. So have a little fun with me. Who's got the goal? What do you think?
I want to see Wando get the goal really bad. He came close there, got his head on the cross, but...
No, we were like on the edge of our seats over here.
I know. I would love to see Wando get the goal. And who knows, go to penalties. Have Nicky take a penalty as well.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks.
Tight quarters now for Lamar, trying to wheel away for Atletico. They try to release to the far side. Renan Lodi, another newcomer for Atletico. It's too far. And something very cool that Graham Zusi was doing yesterday. He had with him Rex the Robot, as children who were at the Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City were able to visit here with the MLS players. That was almost an incredibly spectacular own goal from Bastian Schweinsteiger. And he was trying to play cross-field for Leandro Gonzalez.
He's having a little laugh. I suppose if there's a game that you're going to do that, this may be one. Just a little bit of a shank there at the inside of the boot.
It's very cool stuff that Graham Zusi was doing yesterday with some kids in hospital, trying to show them around with this interactive robot they brought with them from Kansas City. And there you see Schweinsteiger, second All-Star game for him. Also was a part of the Bayern Munich team just after winning that World Cup a couple of years ago. Third All-Star game, I should say. In fact, he was the captain in 2017, having joined Chicago. That was going to be blasted up in the stands by Koke, the captain now of Atletico Madrid. Let's see what Schweinsteiger does this time. A little bit further away from his own goal.
Just a 30-yard diagonal onto Ladero's toe. That'll work.
Here's Kay now.
All-Stars, welcome to the Diego Simeone School of Defending. 2 banks of 4, 2 in front, try and break us down.
Yeah, Rossi there knew that pass was beyond him, trying to draw that contact there from Kieran Trippier, and Drew Fischer wasn't having it. It was fun to chat with Trippier, in fact, yesterday a little bit as you take a look back at whether he got it or not. Not quite. Trippier told us yesterday he just wanted to get out of his bubble a little bit. The first Englishman to play for Atletico Madrid in about a century. You just don't see that many English players go abroad for a variety of reasons, but tell us how much he's enjoyed it so far, trying to learn the language, trying to adapt to life off the field, adapt to Diego Simeone's intensity and practice methods. But again, this is a guy who in the last year plus has played and scored a goal in a World Cup semifinal, has played in a Champions League final. Trying to win a spot for Atletico Madrid. Good work by Lamar to get it away for Renan Lodi. And his shot saved by Ramonto. Mayo, another one of those players, not quite a part of the regular first group with Alvaro Morata out tonight. He's been out there now, and it's going to be out for a throw as Ramonto getting himself involved. Looking for an option. They'll find P.T. Martinez. He's got Metzanier running up to his right. He's got Wondolowski calling for the cross now. Metzanier trying to set him up. Found him in there. Able to direct it to a teammate, though. And Cameo under some pressure. It's out for Atletico throw. Last off of Kay. MLS on FS1 is sponsored by Target. Expect more, pay less. Ezequiel Barco and Paxton Pomykal, the last players on this all-star roster, preparing to come on in the next few moments. There are youngsters who've taken different paths into MLS. Barco, who last year was the biggest ever transfer fee paid for a player in MLS for Atlanta United. One of the youngest players ever signed out of the prodigious academy setup at FC Dallas, and he has had just a wonderful year, flourishing now. The FC Dallas team that underwent a coaching change, and he has benefited. I had a fun chat with him yesterday just about what this experience was like coming into this team. As Kay runs inside, it's the return for Wondolowski just beyond there. Wondolowski comes sliding through. Joao Felix, a little bit of skill there. Pop it over to the head of Maxi Morales, and now to Lamar. Diego Costa. Dos Santos beating to that ball. Joao Felix coming forward. He's got Diego Costa in the middle. Schweinsteiger able to do enough to break up that pass. What did you think of Pomykal yesterday? We had a long chat with him. And again, a young player that has really sort of burst onto the scene this year. Youth national team as well. What did you think of him?
I was impressed. I'm impressed by his charisma, his confidence, taking so much on board for a young player that has had a very good year that you referenced, and youth national teams and his appearances there, but most importantly with FC Dallas. And the part of his game that I like the most, beyond the goals, the assists, and it's his ability to control a game at such a young age, with tempo, with his vision, with his passing.
There's Ladero now from P.T. Martinez, ran away from him off the first touch, and it breaks down. Well, Jonathan Dos Santos and Bastian Schweinsteiger working to win it back. Metzanier for Pizzi. Ladero again showing form. He's got it in now. Ladero thought about it, clipping it instead, and that'll break down in front of Metzanier.
And I'm excited for his future. I think people, already are talking about when's he going to be in the U.S. men's national team. I asked him yesterday. I said, have you spoken to Greg Berhalter as we get a look at this chance? Ladero just trying to cut it back, and Metzanier getting just a little caught up and twisted, trying to get on the end of that one. And he said not yet, but his goal, and he said he feels the most pride when he puts on that crest. And
his number one goal, play for the U.S. men, yeah.
And he's a guy that sits high up above in the sky and watches a lot of soccer and a lot of his games. That time will come for him. He is a bright talent. And I expect, if not towards the end of this year, I could see him being in the next January camp for sure.
Just say you sit high up in the sky. Do you have a penthouse apartment that I'm not aware of? I've been to your house.
It's in my contract.
It's taken away by Koke. From Diego Rossi and Pamukal and Barco are ready to come on to the next opportunity. There'll be about 20 minutes to go here, and as you've heard reference, if it did finish as tied tonight in 90 minutes, we will have a penalty shootout, which we've had a couple times, including the last couple of years, in fact, in the MLS All-Star game.
I was on the losing end of one of those in 2009. I did not take one. I was off the field at that point.
But you won the shootout that mattered at MLS Cup.
That is
you did
right.
take one there.
Thanks for referencing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're buying drinks tonight.
And speaking of, I actually bumped into one of the great parts of MLS All-Star. I bumped into a former teammate of mine that I had not seen in 10 years.
Wow.
Ronald Cerritos.
Oh, yes. One of the greats, one of the originals, in fact. Trippier's cross for Diego Costa, knocked in the air by Schweinsteiger. Jonathan Dos Santos trying to get there. Ladero helping out. Pizzi Martinez, they can't quite play out cleanly, but they do get it clear. And it is one of the fun things, as much as we say, it is getting harder and harder with the All-Star game. There's so many matches. You've got Open Cup runs, you've got Leagues Cup now, teams that have played Champions League at the beginning of the season. It's a more compacted schedule, but it is one of the special things to still have this All-Star game. Chance for everybody that normally is in different places every weekend. People we don't get to see regularly, obviously the players against these opponents getting a chance to sort of get together and celebrate MLS and American soccer. Saul now trying his luck from distance, and Romano makes his second save.
But John, sometimes there's a tendency to look at leagues around the world and say, oh, well, they don't do all-star games, they don't do skills challenges and these things. I love that it's unique to American sports, and we do it across other sports. The NBA has their all-star weekend, and MLB, and the NFL has the Pro Bowl. I think it's important to celebrate your league's best players and showcase them. I haven't talked to a single player. Maybe I haven't talked to enough. But that says they haven't enjoyed this experience. Yes, you get dragged here and there for appearances, but the actual playing part, it's so much fun. And talking to the players after the skills challenge last night, they wanted to come back. They're already talking about how you can change it and tweak it, and how can you include maybe an MLS Legends team or things like that. And I've had messages from friends and former teammates in the UK and saying, oh, could you imagine if we had that over here? That looks so much fun. And I just hope this continues. It's a great thing.
Schweinsteiger across from Ladero. Ladero looking to cross it in. Wondolowski just beyond him there. And to finish your point, because I think the feeling would be that the European-based players, guys that come from overseas, would be the most negative about it. You and I have talked to far more of those types of players. David Villa was the first in 2015 saying, I love this. I wish we had this, La Liga versus Premier League when I was playing in Europe, and they actually quite enjoy the experience. So here come the subs now. And it'll be like Morales' number came up and Rossi's number came up as well. Coming off, and Ezequiel Barco and Paxton Pamukal coming on. So everyone has seen the field now for the MLS All-Stars. And Barco, another player. We did the game in May. Goal and an assist against Sporting Kansas City. It was like, here this kid finally comes putting it all together. Well, then he goes to the U20 World Cup. Has a great tournament for them. Coming back for the Open Cup, though, suffers a knee injury. He returned the game last Friday for the first time in 2.5 months for Atlanta. We'll see what his role is going to be this Saturday as they take on the LA Galaxy.
It certainly looks like their attack could do with him firing on all cylinders.
A team that has had a lot of noise circling around them right now. And Frank de Boer, first-year head coach. Pizzi Martinez, the acquisition. Kay mishitting that one for a team that set a very, very high bar last year's MLS Cup winners.
And we'll have plenty of time to talk about that one this weekend.
Don't worry.
Atlanta, see you soon.
What do you want to see here? 15 minutes and change.
You keep asking me, and I keep the same response. I want a goal. I want a goal.
Just making sure. How does it come,
apparently, for Nick Raimondo, we need to find a winning goal.
Well, he's a guy that could dribble out of that. How does it come, though? What's the plan here? What has been working to create chances for the MLS All-Stars?
Well, it was working at the start of the second half when they were able, with energy, to combine quickly, start to pull the defense apart. The problem is Atletico Madrid made subs and bring on their fresh legs and starters, and you can see their power and their ability to transition through speed when they have the ball. It's just been harder and harder for the MLS All-Stars to really find space and time to create a quality opportunity in front of goal.
MLS All-Star team against foreign opposition has not been kept off the board. The 2011 All-Star game when Manchester United won 4-0 at Red Bull Arena.
You know how you stop that? You play the best defense in European soccer.
Off the giveaway, Dos Santos able to win it back. And we mentioned a couple times Diego Simeone doesn't really do preseason games. In that scenario, he's hopping up and down mad that broke down. They couldn't create a chance out of it. So he certainly has high expectations for his team.
I referenced at one point in the first half watching their training session and fascinated by his team, having covered them for a number of years in the Champions League, and just seeing him up close and personal. I mean, John, he was running the entire session, and it was down to every single detail, every single second. He had every player's attention and dialed in, and the work rate that they were exerting. This is still preseason for them, so they're trying to really get their team fired up and ready for La Liga season, which starts in a couple weeks.
It is a club with a fascinating ethos because, as an example, there was a TV commercial in Madrid in past years. It's a dad and a son driving, and the son asked the dad, why are we Atletico fans? And sort of the unspoken part of that is, why wouldn't we just be Real Madrid fans? They win everything. And the dad sort of hems and haws and stammers and does not actually answer the question before the commercial ends. And that's the idea, is that the point of being an Atletico supporter is not that it makes objective sense when you have two clubs in the same city. You are because you are, and yet here's a team that for a long time was at the Vicente Calderón Stadium in the very working class southern end of Madrid, whereas Real Madrid's Bernabeu in the very nice northern end of town, surrounded by shops and restaurants. And they've moved out to the new Metropolitano Stadium that hosted the Champions League final this year. They've been spending tons of money, more than they ever have before. They've had this upturn in fortunes in the last decade, and yet it hasn't come like a lot of European clubs where they change an ownership and a foreign owner coming in and pumping in billions, and that has been the real thing. And being there a couple of years ago for the Champions League semifinal with Real Madrid, talking to Atletico fans who were very big on that. We can't lose our heart and our soul, even as we have this new money coming in and we're into this new stadium. And certainly Simeone's a big part of that. Diego Costa, big part of that as well, trying on the end of this ball with Gonzalez Perez running with them, and Leandro Gonzalez Perez. Schweinsteiger helping as well. It's going to go the other way. They did the job.
Drew Fischer getting a taste of Diego Costa on the field.
Good sprint by Fischer, too, to track that down.
I mean, this is what Atletico Madrid try to do. They try to frustrate you defensively, then they look for these quick transition moments, long ball over the top, finds Diego Costa. And Gonzalez Perez does well because he tries to turn the other way, he gets his body in front. And actually on the second one, he's got a hold of Diego Costa's shirt.
Oblak under some pressure. We do actually, they listed a video assistant referee for this game. So theoretically, there is video review. If we felt the need for
what he's up to right now.
Edvin Jurasevich, the VAR. Interception by Dos Santos now. Dos Santos able to get around Saul. Chance now. Pizzi Martinez put a wonderful look up over the bar.
And that's the best look of the game. The Ladero chance early in this half, but this one, it is on a platter. Look at this work from Jonathan Dos Santos. Just drives past Saul there, and then lays it back. I think he's actually trying to find the run there, it looked like, of Barco, but finds Martinez. He's just leaning back. It's kind of the story of his season.
I was just going to say, it's a metaphor for how the year's
gone. In MLS, and had one just the other day against DC United, a game winner for Atlanta United. But man, he has looked a shade of the South American Player of the Year.
Have another look at the ball here for his teammate Barco. Ezequiel Barco. Trying to draw the foul, he does. That was Koke sliding through.
Okay, who takes this?
Jonathan Dos Santos immediately is telling Schweinsteiger to take it. He looked immediately around back at Schweinsteiger and was pointing to him and pointing to the spot of the free kick.
And the problem he's going to have is Pity Martinez wants it, Barco wants it, Wondolowski wants it, Ladero wants it.
Pity Martinez has a history of scoring free kick goals in big games.
Does a World Cup trophy trump all of that, though?
Do you get a ring for that? Can you just show the ring and that's the conversation? It's in front of the wall, the Orlando City supporters that have made some noise, not all friendly tonight. Well, about 10 minutes to go. A 34-year-old German, a 20-year-old Argentine, 26-year-old as well, and Pity Martinez, who takes it in the rain and with the noise building. And Jan Oblak getting himself set. It's Barco, it's a save, the rebound, chance for Kay. To hold it in, and couldn't quite do so, although Pity Martinez gets a touch. Pity had it knocked away. Ladero. Back from Pity Martinez. A little spin there from Ladero.
Good spell. Can they create a good opportunity here?
Trippier heading away as far as Kay.
That's another foul. Now this one's a little bit further out. This could be Schweinsteiger on a direct. Here's a look at the first one, and it's Oblak. He trusts his wall, experienced goalkeeper. Barco trying to pick that one up. Comes through traffic and it bounces right in front of Oblak. Just tries to parry it away.
And it's an interesting part of that because the new laws say that Wondolowski can't actually be there on the wall. That's what Atletico are used to. Those new laws have not taken effect in MLS until the end of the season. So they were sort of operating with two different sets of rules there. And they're going to do it again. Wondolowski and Ladero are going to bookend the wall. You see Pity Martinez with one foot, Schweinsteiger with the other. Final 10 minutes to go. It'll be Schweinsteiger who puts it wide.
Oblak trying to peek around Chris Wondolowski, and that's why he's there. He's there to shield the ball. Schweinsteiger hits the low-driven ball again at the same type of area in the goal in which Barco went for it, and that one goes flying past the post.
And Atletico are going to make one final substitution. It'll be Cameo, who was playing up front, who will come off. And this is the other young attacker who joined them from Benfica, Ivan Šaponic, 21-year-old from Serbia. He was a winner at the 2015 Under-20 World Cup, coached by Veljko Paunovic, who's now the Chicago Fire head coach. And he was off of that U20 World Cup, and he ended up joining Benfica. Have a reserve goalkeeper and then Alvaro Morata, who they're not going to play tonight, we assume, for precautionary reasons. Costa able to get past one. Gonzalez Perez able to do the job again. Going down in a heap. These fans have certainly shown some patience tonight. Tough conditions with the rain, the lightning delay. Will they be rewarded with a goal to celebrate from the MLS All-Stars? That one's not going to find Wondolowski from Ladero. And then it's not going to be a foul, it looks like. They certainly thought it was as Stefan Savic went down in front of Wondolowski. Pity Martinez then takes the bump. Barco putting it quickly back into play. Ezequiel Barco now. Across to Metzanier. Metzanier on the deck. Lamar knocks it away. Barco came flying all the way through. Lamar throws his body in.
Barco's starting to look lively. He's hungry for a goal here.
Ladero has his shirt pulled. He's got a little bit more physical here in the latter stages.
What did I tell you? It starts to get a little bit more competitive towards the end, and you needed MLS to start pushing a little.
He's taking quick and short. Metzanier crossing in, took a deflection in there, and Montero got the header away. I don't think these guys aren't competitors. I mean, hardwired that way if you're a professional athlete. With 7 minutes to go, even as you understand what this game is and what it isn't. Jonathan Dos Santos. It goes from Paxton Pomykal. he's fouled. 19-year-old captain of the Under-20 World Cup team for the United States a little bit earlier this year. Trying another attacking set-piece chance. Ladero immediately going over to the ball. P.T. Martinez will join him out there. Everybody back to defend for Atletico.
There's some space on the top of the box right now for Santos, although it looks like Trippier is starting to just edge out that way.
No one has more assists in MLS than Ladero since he joined the league. P.T. Martinez up over the bar. He's had 2 of those he's missed high tonight. Gonzalo Martinez is the name. P.T. is the nickname given to him by his mother as a 5-year-old for the Ititara bird, sort of a mix between a sparrow and a hummingbird. And the idea was that he, as a 5-year-old, had the energy of that little bird, and that name has stuck ever since. Still trying to find his best level for Atlanta United this year. Saul got away from Ladero, trying to spin through Dos Santos, who just wraps him up.
He's going to bring it back.
Saying Drew Fischer, the referee, the ball was still rolling when it was taken quickly, even as Atletico gave it away. Saul skipping around Ladero. In now for Joao Felix. His shot is a goal. It got past Ramondo. On a Carlo wet night. One of the most expensive teenagers ever sold in international soccer. The big prized acquisition of Atletico Madrid this summer makes it 2-0 for the visitors.
There was another Portuguese player that could do something like this. So there's been a few. And he often gets the comparisons to Cristiano Ronaldo about being the heir to that. But look at the way he knuckles this ball. Look at the movement on it as it comes past Ramondo here. Oh, that thing is all over the place. It's a terrific strike. I mean, he strikes right through the middle of it. Look at that. There's barely any movement, any spin on it. And it is knuckling left, right, in the back of the net. That's what you get for that type of price tag.
He made his debut for Portugal's senior national team in the UEFA Nations League last month. It's a goal here. He is going to be a fun player to watch for Atletico this season in La Liga as well as in the Champions League, as that goes too far for Ezequiel Barco.
I'm excited to watch him this year in La Liga. Not against Mallorca, of course.
I should mention you are a part owner of Mallorca. That's why we make these endless Mallorca deals for people that haven't followed that.
Endless plugs for that. But we talked about him a little bit at the top of the show. We've been consistently doing that. He's going to be talked about for years and years to come.
Here's Barco. In for Pamacol. Looking to return it. It was cut off in there, though. Not a deliberate back pass there. The touch from Trippier. So Oblak able to come grab it.
And it's still easy to forget that he is a kid. I mean, seeing him yesterday with one of his idols, Kaká. I mean, he was fawning over Kaká. He wanted a picture with him, and it was standing there. I mean, some of these players that he'll be playing with will have been his idols. 19 years old.
Kaká, of course, the former designated player and star for Orlando City, their first couple years in MLS. By Ladero there to poke that ball away. And now Barco carrying forward. Away for Metzanier. Ezequiel Barco. And you got to give credit to this rain. It has not stopped once, and it's gotten heavier at times. This has been consistently just pouring tonight. Metzanier from Pamacol. It's a good cross. There's just no one there. Trippier able to get it clear. And Chris Wondolowski cursing the heavens and apologizing to Metzanier. He wasn't in position for it. Who could have so easily been just another MLS roster player, drafted out of a D2 school, coaching youth soccer on the side, 7 goals in 5 years, spent most of his time in the reserves. They had to add a draft pick in for him. Houston did, to ship him off to San Jose. Chance for P.T. Martinez again. He puts it up over the bar. Lewandowski has now dropped double-digit goals in 9 consecutive seasons to become the all-time leading goal scorer in MLS, and it's Pity Martinez's turn to curse the heavens. Schweinsteiger going to go wide now. Marco running in. Back from P.T. Martinez. Schweinsteiger wants it. Instead it comes across to Mark-Anthony Kaye. Not about teeing it up. Instead it's Pomykal who picks it up. Back for Kaye. Going to go across to P.T. Martinez, and Lodi was there first. The 90th minute, we expect 3 minutes of stoppage time here in Orlando. See if the MLS All-Stars can get one and make the finish interesting. P.T. Martinez for Nico Lodeiro. Lodero's cross took a touch in there off of Francisco Montero. And it was cleared away. Schweinsteiger will find Metzanier. His cross lifted in. Wondolowski not able to get there in front of Oblak. Looking to go quick for Diego Costa. It's all the way through. Into stoppage time now. And the board will go up for 3 added minutes on the watch of referee Drew Fischer. Martinez across the field. Trippier, good work there to steer that back to Oblak. Well, the All-Stars will disperse tomorrow. They'll head back to their clubs. They're down to 9 weeks, single-digit weeks remaining in this MLS regular season. Quite the running in the new playoff format. Single elimination games. No more 2-leg series. So much importance on every spot in the standings. You got our doubleheader Saturday. Dortmund and Bayern in the German Super Cup. Follow right after that on the Fox Network by Atlanta United and the LA Galaxy. 2 teams that need a good performance, need a good result for different reasons. There's P.T. Martinez. And then Sunday, great doubleheader as well. DC United Philadelphia Union battle for the top of the Eastern Conference. Seattle Sounders sporting Kansas City, of a wonderful history between those 2 teams out west. That'll be your doubleheader Sunday here on FS1.
Well, I mean, every game right now for Sporting KC is a must-win, isn't it? It's been a tough season for
years in the
them
playoffs.
Yeah, all the injuries that they've had. And talking a little with Graham Zusi yesterday, he still feels they have a chance to get in the playoffs.
Marco for Kaye. Intercepted there as he was trying to roll it across by Thomas Lemar.
I didn't expect him to say they didn't, but you know, there's a feeling within that camp that if they can win a couple games and get on a run, that they really can fight for that last playoff position in the West.
Certainly for Seattle, and talking to them, they've done that plan, the midseason turnaround sneak in, and they've done their damage as the lower-seeded team hosting the first leg of series. And we talked with Nico Lodeiro the other week before the game with Portland, Stefan Fry, and Christian Roldan, all saying, in fact, Fry's words were, I don't think anyone's going to do that again in MLS, because you really, that single game, being at home is so important. That's their huge focus, is trying to make sure they're as high up the ladder as possible to get those home games and try to make a run at another spot in MLS Cup. We'll have the U.S. Open Cup semifinals next week. Atlanta will be here against Orlando Tuesday night. Minnesota will host Portland on Wednesday night. Leagues Cup as well carrying on. The summer of soccer stretching deeper and deeper into the fall. Long for Diego Costa. Going to get there in front of Schweinsteiger, and he scores a third for Atletico Madrid. With maybe the final kick of this 2019 MLS All-Star game.
Get a load of this pass from Joao Felix. Wow. He has the run of Trippier on his right, and he just drops this to the inch on a dime. The streaking Diego Costa, who has been a threat since coming on, as you'd expect, running in behind, strength, power, persistence, and he gets his goal. He had 4 against Real Madrid the other day, and he gets 1 against the MLS All-Stars here. And a goal and assist for Joao Felix.
You mentioned the comparisons between Felix and his idol Kaká. When Diego Costa was introduced in the summer 2007 as an Atletico signing, he was announced as the new Kaká. And he's still a part of the club in one way or another, and multiple spells 12 years later. That is going to be the final whistle from the 2019 MLS All-Star game. Atletico Madrid off the back of a goal and an assist in the second half by that young man, Joao Felix, beating the MLS All-Stars by a score of 3-0.